Well, here we are again. We have been in this spot before. It is Friday, and 7 years ago on Friday, we were in the morning a little hopeful, cautiously optimistic when my movie was coming out. And that afternoon, we were in devastation mode.
In tears.
Yes.
Yeah.
And confused and crying and praying and wondering why we got in this business. And,
And what we will do next.
and honestly thinking we might never make another movie or TV show. And that night, God showed up and spoke to us and made it clear that we were only to focus on our loaves and fish, 5 loaves and 2 fish. And then God's responsible for feeding the 5,000 or not. We didn't know what that meant. Thought maybe that meant my loaves and fish are going to be driving a bus for years. And I'm not even saying that in a negative way. I'm like, I'll be willing to do anything.
I'm no longer a filmmaker.
yeah.
What is next? Yeah.
So now, today, The Best Christmas Pageant Ever is released nationwide. And it's a little different now because even if this movie doesn't work, we have a day job. The Chosen will still live on. I still will get a chance to make...
Maybe they'll reevaluate.
the audience hopefully won't go, you know what, if that movie doesn't work, I don't think I can trust
we've been
seasons
thinking all
5,
these
6,
years,
and 7.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think we're in pretty good shape, career-wise, family-wise.
Sure.
God is present. We're doing great. And we are different people now. So regardless of how this weekend goes,
A little more surrendered, a little more.
yeah, we're okay. That said, there's reasons to feel good because when we talked to you last year, we had gotten the rights to the movie. We were going to be making it. We were so excited that we had a chance to finally make it. And now we've made it. And that in and of itself is a calling fulfilled. It is a dream come true. And
It's been sweet.
yeah, and so we're proud of the movie that we made because we do believe that it honors this. Now this is from McCall's Magazine in 1967. This is December of 1967, and this is called The Christmas Pageant by Barbara Robinson. It's the short story that she wrote for this magazine about the Herdman kids who were the worst kids in the world, and they took over this pageant, and everyone thought it was going to be horrible, and everyone thought that they weren't qualified, and that they weren't right, and that they were intruding on the perfect
It was
bubble
going
of
to
the
be the
church.
worst
Christmas pageant ever. But because of their poverty, spoiler alert, because it's called The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, so I think people know how it goes.
Where it's going.
But because they are in poverty, because they are outsiders, they're actually closer to the heart.
Well, they see the story in a way that it's meant to be seen, actually.
Yeah. And then by doing that, the rest of the town learns too. And so we believe that the movie captures that and lives up to the book. And this weekend, all over the country, in over 3,000 screens, because after last weekend went so well, the theaters are like, we want this movie even more. And so they've added more screens. So
I feel my surrendered blood pressure rising.
yeah, we're trying our best to not care, to not hope, to not be optimistic, to not just to like
Just
to
to
be.
be.
But like alcoholics, people are holding beer in front of us, going, "Come on,
Handle
just a
it.
taste, just a taste."
Cancel one.
And we're saying, "No, no, no." So as of this moment, I don't know any numbers. I don't know any projections.
No, on purpose. We're asking to not be told because we
told-
want to stay in a space of just trusting
We
the
told
Lord.
Lionsgate, don't give me any updates. Don't give me any projections. I don't want to get my hopes up. I'll find out tonight. So all that to say, thank you for being part of this journey with us, for your prayers.
Thank you. And just for celebrating with us too. We've gotten a lot of messages on social media of just people like celebrating with us. And so it's reminded us to have fun actually in the process.
And the reviews of the movie have been very positive. Again, we don't measure ourselves by the numbers, but it does help that on Rotten Tomatoes, the audience score is 100%. The critic score is vacillating between like mid-80s to low 90s, which is extraordinary, especially
But
for a film like this.
also that the critics are saying, oh, wow, the actual Christmas Story has returned to theaters, which is super fun.
Even cynical critics that normally don't like movies like this have been writing that this movie really warmed their heart and that the message of it resonates, that the message that Christmas is, as Pete Holmes, who plays the dad, has been saying, he's like, there is room at the inn for audiences, for everybody to come enjoy this movie.
Yeah, and Jesus is there.
Yeah, exactly. And so, regardless of where you stand on anything, especially in this political week, I don't know if you knew that this week has been
Kind of a big week.
pretty
for
intense
the
week for a lot
world.
of people. Hopefully that, like Christmas sometimes does, can unify people. And so instead of arguing at the table over politics, maybe you and your family or friends can go see this movie. We're up against Venom and Heretic. Isn't that funny? that the two movies that the Christmas pageant movie are up against, competing against, are called Venom and Heretic.
All right, let's
So
bring it.
Yeah. So we don't want you to go see this movie just out of support. We don't want you to do it as a favor to us. We really do believe that you will be moved and impacted by this movie, because in screenings,
And laugh.
in screenings all over the country, we've seen laughter and tears and people walking out thinking that this could be a Christmas classic. So that's what we're really doing this for, is for impact and for the story to be spread around the globe, the great message from the movie, from the book, from the Bible. Hey, unto you a child is born. And so that's what we are hoping for this weekend. We'll close with this. The best response we've gotten so far has been from the daughter of Barbara Robinson. Barbara Robinson, the author, her daughter Margie. Barbara, of course,
Both sisters actually we got to see.
Barbara is unfortunately no longer with us, but her daughter sent me a text after she saw the movie, and she said, words cannot express.
Oh, even
Yeah, I know, it's so emotional. She said that she loved the movie so much. She said everything about it was great, and she said the things you added that aren't in the book make it even better. And she said,
feel like they fit.
yeah, and she said my mom is right now so happy and cheering from heaven where she's watching, and so that was, our job is done. So this weekend, if you have the opportunity to take your friends and family, and this is a movie that really isn't exclusive. It doesn't, you might see headlines like faith-based movie, and of course it's rooted in faith, but it's not just for that crowd. It is for everybody, and we've seen, from critics to audiences who aren't typically into family-friendly movies or faith-based movies even.
Good
They're really
Christmas
loving it. So regardless of what happens, thank you for being part of this with us, for praying for us, for rejoicing with us when we got the rights. And so this is a big weekend, and I hope that next week when I talk to you that it's good news. But if it's not,
surrender.
The good news
We'll
is that this movie has good news, and that we carried out our mission to take this great story and do it faithfully and bring it to the world. So thank you, and we'll see you at the end of the weekend.